We'll just have to sing our own song.
Yeah. The da da da. No, that's
It's time to put on makeup.
We can't afford that. We can't afford that. We can't
okay.
afford that.
It's
We
time
can't afford
to
anything. What are
watch
we
the
talking
puppets on Strange New Worlds tonight.
No.
Trust me, I was working on that in my
On
head.
the topic is Trek tonight.
Well, that's why the title of the episode is the way it is, because that works in that way. All right. So,
well, welcome, no viewers.
Yes, we're doing the pre-show. We haven't started recording our podcast yet, so sit back, grab yourself a bucket of stale popcorn.
Ooh, I used to pop the popcorn. But that's not easy to say. I used to do that thing at the theater, and I think it's the same probably at all theaters. You think it's fresh, but no, there's garbage bags full of popcorn back.
Oh yeah.
They just pop it fresh to lure you in.
My friend used to manage the local movie theater. They'd have these big plastic bags full of popcorn. They popped ahead of time 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, it wasn't 2 weeks ahead of time, but in order to meet the demand, because if you get a rush at the concession stand, you
don't want to be sitting there making them wait for popcorn.
Yeah, because then they'll go, never mind.
I order mine fresh. Why is mine fresh?
A profit center, I tell you.
Think of it as like a reservoir.
A buffer.
And the dam has a reservoir of popcorn behind it.
Yeah.
That way you can weather out the floods and the droughts.
With popcorn.
Orville Redenbacher.
Maybe in some of the reservoirs, like they use the balls to keep it from evaporating.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just put popcorn over it.
That butter is never going to evaporate. Trust me about that one.
Craig, do you watch Earl Duquesne's stuff on either YouTube or Instagram?
I have in the past, yeah.
He's getting very popular.
Really?
He had one a day or so ago about Reply All Storms.
That sounds horrible.
And he says, this message went to everybody, 4,000 employees. And he's always talking to himself, but the camera angle looks like two different people. He goes,
yeah,
it's happening. He said, what? Wait. Somebody just said, remove me from this list, but they replied to all. Yes, those are the remove alls.
Yeah.
As opposed to the overalls.
There's no way that works, by the way. Remove me from this list, and it's already been circulating a little bit.
He was treating it like FEMA had to step in at some point.
Well,
category 5 reply all storm.
Yeah. Not necessarily wrong.
No, but I have made a filter to get rid of that stuff before.
Okay, you ready?
I was born ready. It's been downhill ever since.
Hello, Sarah Rose.
Hello, Sarah Rose.
Hello.
Hey, in about a week.
Why is your avatar flipping us off?
Wait,
it's what?
Do you guys see it?
Well, it's very tiny on my screen.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's not the welcome I was expecting, but okay.
It's the welcome you deserve. Those.
The Vulcan hello.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
So you got to roll this whole thing into Star Trek. You can figure out it works.
It's almost like the topic is. Never mind.
The topic is.
Not you.
What was it? I forgot.
Torque. It's a monkey's thing. The topic is torque.
Torque.
All right.
You ready?
So I'm ready.
Okay. There you go. In 3, 2, 1.
Coming up in this episode, the Enterprise goes under wraps. It's time to put on makeup. It's time to fly the flight. Mbenga gets a table for one. All that and more right now on The Topic is Trek. On the Enterprise tonight. Welcome to The Topic is Trek, the podcast that runs on impulse power. Join us for a journey where no show has gone before. If it has to do with Star Trek,
there's a good chance we'll talk about it sooner or later, because on this show, the topic is Trek. Engage already.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrill-packed edition of The Topic is Trek. I am Clinton, one of your co-hosts, and as I say all the time, whether or not people are talking about the show, in order to be a co-host, I have to have other hosts with me. So first of all, beaming in with the hip new catchphrase that you're going to be talking about for a good 3 or 4 minutes, from Parts Unknown is Mr. Craig Stepp.
I felt a disturbance in the
Well, you've been talking about that for longer than
Quite
3 minutes.
disturbed there.
I felt a disturbance in the force.
Okay. Do you want another take on that? No. He's going with it. He's going with it. All right. And also beaming in to join me from Parts Unknown is Mr. Chuck Tomasi.
Feels like ants crawling all over my body.
Hey, what turns you on? That's your business. We're not gonna.
He could have said that in this latest episode. He was in the Jeffries tube, and there was all kind of energy flying around.
He was
Strange energy.
He had opinions about that energy. And
Neutrinos, the easy weight loss diet.
Well, how have you gentlemen been since last we spoke?
Very good. Very busy. Traveling, working
And we are-
on fun stuff, but keeping occupied.
Seems like
We are
there's
preparing-
something new every time I turn around. How about that?
Seems like I gotta spend money every time I turn around.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't tell us this retirement thing was so expensive.
Hey, I think, hey, by the way, Chuck's house is turning into the Enterprise from this latest episode.
Oh,
Everything's
No.
breaking.
Well, it was time for the dishwasher this week and the pool sensor.
wow.
Just weird things wigging out. The network, an hour before we were about to do Technorama on Sunday night, and my hearing aids wouldn't work. I'm like, what? And not only did I have to put them in the charger and take them out, I had to uninstall the app on my phone and reinstall it. But we got them working.
Do you wear them when you have the headphones on?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I thought we get feedback or something.
I do
No,
not. I take mine off.
Hear alerts from my phone too, because they act as Bluetooth headphones or earbuds. Not the greatest quality, but don't have to have headphones half the time. And it encourages me to wear my hearing aids more.
So I think that Sarah Rose is having a week as well.
Yeah.
We hear you. We hear you.
We feel your pain,
having-
Sarah.
Going traveling, I get these tasks to do, so I always push them off to when we get back. So we got back Sunday, and Monday my to-do list is a mile long. We're going, no, I'm kicking that can down the road till Wednesday, and this one till Thursday. I'm spreading this out a little bit more because it was just too overwhelming.
All right. Well, I want to mention right up front that so we're having a panel at DragonCon
Yes.
this year,
Mhm.
and it's going to be at 4:00
On Sunday.
on Sunday in the Trek Track room down on the bottom floor of the Hilton. So be sure to join us for a live version. We've got an interesting topic as our main topic, and then we're going to have a fun activity after that. So
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll beam to another dimension.
You laugh, you cry. It'll become part of you.
I don't know if we can pay off on that part, but we'll
Much
we'll
better
see.
than cats.
But I'll be driving down this year. Well, that's not hard. I'll be driving down this year, and it wasn't necessarily going to be on my list of things to do because I have seen the other iterations of the restorations of the Enterprise. But after I read this article, I went, "Oh, darn, we're going to be going right practically past there." But the Enterprise model has gone back into storage again.
No!
It's going to be there for a while, and the reason they're putting it away this time is because they're getting a new case for it.
Oh.
It's going to go back in exactly the same place that it was before.
Right inside the entrance off to the right.
So I don't know. They didn't go into details about what the new case was. Whether it's maybe one of the things you'd hope would be like a little less reflective would be good for.
Actually, to
Photos?
be honest with you, if I remember right, I think it could use some better lighting
Yes.
on the inside because
Yep.
it seemed dark. I was trying to take pictures of it, and not just because of the reflections. That's its own thing, but it needs some light coming out, or reflecting off of it.
Or around the top, put some LEDs that illuminate the ship.
Yeah, and maybe they just dim during that period where the lights come on inside the ship or something like that.
Maybe there'll be a hologram of William Shatner that pops up. Hello.
No, Bill will be there
Yeah.
all the time.
All the time.
Did they say how long it will be offline?
I don't think we had an actual date. Let me just.
I should say how long it will be in space, Doc.
So it went in on it went back into storage on the 17th. I guess it's going to be there for a while, but they're going to bring it out for one day on the 8th.
September 8th. Of
Yep.
course.
Just when you're not driving by there.
Right. We could, but we'd have to
Yeah.
delay. So we'll catch it next time. I'm not that worried about it. Just went, oh darn, we could have done that, but then we couldn't do that. So
You know what I love about that thing is even when I was shooting pictures of it, is that almost every angle is great, to shoot it, and the pictures look very much like the show. At least the perspectives on it. It's pretty awesome. The way it's
Yeah.
been.
And now you can AI the reflections away.
and you can also AI in all the grain that was in the original.
Yeah. That's right.
Make the background shake a little.
Okay, so we're about to head out on our main mission part 1, and I've got a feeling this one is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. We'll see. So can we have an appropriate sound effect for our main mission part 1?
Sure. Tricorder. He's full of fluff, Jim.
Oh,
He's stuffed all right.
all right. And Chuck, could I have you give us the short lowdown
Yes,
on?
of course. This is our review of Star Trek Strange New World Season 4, Episode 5, titled Level 5 Transporter Accident, written by Henry Alonzo Myers and Dana Horgan, directed by Jordan Canning. And our short synopsis goes something like this. A transporter malfunction turns most of the crew into puppets while Spock fights to reclaim the ship. Dun-dun-dun.
So that
no shenanigans.
no shenanigans.
No hijinks.
No
Yeah,
hijinks. That's what it was. No hijinks.
Absolutely no hijinks. All right. So that is the synopsis here. We're going to get into it at this point. I'm going to go around the table real quick, even though we have no table here. I could walk
Sorry.
around the table, but that'd be ridiculous.
Sarah's being very interactive tonight. I'm going to put cats in the show next year just for you, Chuck.
Oh, righty.
Space Rhapsody and cats.
Yeah.
Why does Pike have whiskers?
It's very complicated. So
Is he a Pike or a
The
catfish?
whiskers go up and over his head.
I'm going to start with Craig.
Mhm.
High level opinion about the episode, just high level opinion.
The first time I wasn't sure about it. The second time I watched it, I embraced the silliness, and I think I enjoyed it a lot more than I did the first time.
Okay. Chuck.
For the majority of it, I liked it. I'm not going to give you my rating right now, but
Right.
The crew had to think. I enjoyed the technical details of it, like the puppetry. I enjoyed the story. Didn't really care for the ending, though. A little bit too Wizard of Oz or Bob Newhart for me.
Okay, fair enough. And full disclosure, I'm a fan of Star Trek. I'm a fan of the Muppets.
Yes.
I'm a fan of the Star Trek of Muppets being on Star Trek, but not this story.
Okay.
I've thought about this story a lot. I've got notes on pages and pages of notes. I went back and looked at every episode that was in the season so far, trying to make this work in my head as something that needed to be what it was. And I cannot come up with any justification for this being how the Muppets got on Star Trek. I love the idea of it. Like I said, I love the idea.
This probably won't be a popular opinion, but I'll take this over Subspace Rhapsody. Sorry, Sarah Rose.
Oh,
Ooh,
Oh!
snap. Ooh.
I will.
Good
I
night,
thought
everybody.
This was more entertaining. I would watch this multiple times. I didn't, Subspace Rhapsody it was out there and it was as strange as this, but I just thought this was a little more well executed, except for the ending. I liked watching Spock grapple with himself. I liked the humor of, T'Pring being there.
I'll be honest with you. The first time I watched it, the reason I said I wasn't sure about it, because I kind of got lost when Pike, right after Pike came up with the idea, okay, we need to use these as our strengths and to fight. And then they start flinging themselves around. I was like, it took me out of it.
Oh, come on. There
how
was
can they fight?
Matrix moves in there and hidden tiger, crouching tiger, hidden dragon, whatever the hell it is.
So I was like, a lot of that took me out of it.
That was just the silly fun part of it.
But the second time I watched it, I was able to convince myself, just like them, embrace the silliness, as their strengths, and I liked it a lot better the second
Well,
time.
let me say that if this was an episode of the Muppets and you took out Spock's dilemma, all in. But
sure,
putting it in this season and doing what they did with the episode and what the episode was trying to accomplish, which to me, a lot of what the episode tried to accomplish either was redundant to stuff they'd already covered, or it was so weird because you have T'Pring, Spock says, "Oh, I need your help to solve these problems." Intercut the dream. She then says, "Oh, well, I was coming here to help you with that stuff, but I guess you don't need me." So it was full of that type of thing. And I looked at it strictly from, this is Spock's dream perspective, because that's what it was, right? This is his fever dream, his hallucination, call it what you will. Apparently, Vulcans are able to do cutaways because he is imagining random parts of the ship, things that are happening, like in the middle of conversations or the middle of scenes, we just cut away to something else and cut back again. It's like, how does that make any sense?
Hey, dreams don't have to make sense. Mine don't.
Yeah, well,
You wake up and go, "This is what I dreamt." Wait, that doesn't make any sense. It was the wrong context. But did we or did we not learn a little bit more about Orions tonight and their hierarchy?
No, we learn nothing about them.
Okay.
Because they're all imaginary. They're all in Spock's head. We don't know.
Well, that brings up another question that I had is, Spock had this issue on the Griffin. He's now he seems to be going through this uncertainty, wibbly wobbly stable phase. Is this another step to something?
Well,
we seem to be focusing a lot about
I know what
Lon's
it's stepping.
insecurities, Spock's insecurities. Where are we going with this? I think this was just another chapter in a longer book.
I think we're going in the direction that we get the Spock that we know on TOS, because he's going to try and stay. Well, we saw him trying to move towards more logic,
right?
To quiet his mind and to make sense of a lot of this crap that's going on.
Pretty stable when he came on. Well, no, he wasn't stable when he came on the show. Didn't we find him in prison?
That's why T'Pring was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, no, talking about on Discovery.
On Discovery.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
But well, the thing with T'Pring is that the whole episode is him doing his own, self-analysis and self improvement. It's like, so what happened on the Griffin is it was a very odd situation, made no sense. And he had, once again, a vision of T'Pring, had a conversation with himself, and was able to work through what he needed to do to snap out of it.
Right.
And so here, once again, he goes into some bizarre state. He has a conversation with himself, with T'Pring, also with I want to say from Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but with the Orion,
right?
And which is also part of that same conversation with himself. He works through his problem, and he comes to the solution, which is essentially the same solution he came up with on the Griffin. And it's like, like I said, I desperately wanted this to make sense, to fit in with stuff so that I could just enjoy it for being what it was. But there are so many things in this episode that happen. Like you get a view of apparently how Spock feels about the crew. He feels like the crew are mostly idiots.
Well,
Right?
Oh,
Because-
who's the helmsman that was cowering all the time and got a hole blown in his chest?
I think his
Donut.
credit is red shirt.
Yeah.
Red shirt.
But I mean, he kind of does this thing where they're idiots until they're forced to come up with a solution, and then they sort of come up with something at that point.
Mhm.
But other than that, Pelia just spouts gibberish. Scotty just complains about everything.
She was hard to understand. I had to turn the subtitles on for her.
So,
Oh, hey, by the way, I did too, and somebody said, "Oh, Fraggle."
yeah. Although apparently,
Yes.
although apparently you can't hear it in the dialogue, so it must
Right.
be something they took out.
Yeah, I was
at some
like-
point.
I was like, "What?" I had to rewind it, and I saw it again in the thing, but I never quite heard it. I just heard some mumbling or something.
It also showed a very dark side of Spock, because if you think about it, once again, everything after Scotty turns around and it says transporter malfunction until he wakes up is part of his dream. Everything there, because the transporter act malfunction is what
Hey,
screws up the shuttle, right? So he apparently thinks that, well, as I'm trying to work through things, what I can do is I can have Pike blown out the airlock. I can, set T'Pring on fire. By the way, the Orion in there, who T'Pring sets on fire and he knocks himself out, he's still on fire,
yeah.
Yes.
and they don't
Put him out.
no concern whatsoever for that. He chops Pelia in half. These are all things. He shoots Red Shirt right through the middle of his gut there. It's like, what is it exactly are we seeing here going on with Spock? So to me, it just had all these weird things going on it that were kind of like, well, that's very visual. We'll do something that's very visual, but it hasn't. It has to have a meaning. The silliest Star Trek episodes still have some point to them, right?
Well.
Still have a thread you can hang on to through the episode. And when you come out the other side, it all made sense. And I don't think any of the other ones ended with, oh, it was all just a dream.
Yeah.
Which
Give you Sarah Rose's comment. To be serious in terms of this episode I liked as a fun one-off. Was it an amazing story? No, wasn't. I don't expect it to be a big storyline thing, but in the end, Subspace Rhapsody actually was important to the overall story.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, is that it exists. It almost exists just because they said, well, we want to put a Muppets episode in. Where's it going to go? Here. Well, we don't really have we've got a beat of our story arc that's here and one that's here. I guess we can put it in between those two things.
You make a good point.
Hey, and let's don't gloss over that Spock embraced the weirdness and kissed T'Pring.
They not only kissed T'Pring, they did a mind meld. I expected the words to be more like,
"Oh,
my foam to
actually,
my mind to your
this
foam."
To be honest with you, that's a lot of the stuff that took me out of the first time. I was like, okay, they're slinging each other around. They're, the fighting and stuff got weird. And then they mind melded and then Spock reached and touched her. I said, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And he leaned in. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Really? And then, that's
such a killjoy.
Mm.
Who, me or Spock?
I like Pelia's hair. They just had fun with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I noted, I made note of the fact that in the initial photos that Paramount put out and in the trailer, and so you never see the Pelia character. They waited to just reveal that in the episode with that. Like I said, technically a lot of that stuff was really great. And I particularly like the fact that they pan across the people at the briefing table and then you just see the top of Pelia's head and they have to pan down to see her.
Yeah.
I also thought it was interesting that she throws her boots at the Orion captain.
That's our rating tonight, by the way. Pelia's boots.
Well, what I found interesting about that was now she's another Lanthanite who's not wearing shoes?
Yeah, right.
Hey.
She went in space like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And she was
Um,
happy about it. Look at that face. Oh.
Yeah. So, like I said, if it was an episode of the Muppets and we took out some of the angst that Spock was having, I would be much more in on this episode.
Mhm.
All right.
Hey, I did like Pike's hair as the puppet.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, Bonnie made a comment about that as well.
Oh, did she?
It's like, yeah, she said it seemed bigger than usual, but it was great, and she loved the Pelia
Oh yeah.
Muppet.
Yeah.
They were all real good. I mean, I thought the characters.
Oh, the puppets were great. Yeah.
And technically, we had a lot of stuff going on. One of the things that I thought, I
Little
think
Ricky?
they filmed it
Little
backwards.
Ricky is
little yeah.
Creepy. I mean,
Yeah.
they did a great job with him.
He's like, yeah. He's got different colored eyes. His mouth's just agape.
Hey, I got a question for you on Little Ricky.
Mhm.
So, on I Love Lucy,
Yeah.
the kid was Little Ricky.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
I'm just wondering if that.
There's the tie into Star Trek. I bet
Yes.
that's a tribute.
Yeah,
I thought about that. I thought that was probably what reason why.
Whoosh, right over my head.
Well,
Good job.
at first I was like, Little Ricky, where'd he get that name? And then I went, wait a minute, Lucille Ball. Okay, I Love Lucy, and yeah. So
right. So technically, I thought there were some really great moments. The one I wanted to mention that I think they filmed backwards is Pike standing up on his feet on his chair. He just like works his way up, doing all these moves as you would if you were that size, like bracing his arm and
Mhm.
so as to finally stand up. And it seemed like the easier way to do that would be to start at the straight up and then work your way down again. So I'm wondering if they did it that way. But we also had La'an running along the wall
Yep.
to do a kick. They were just very impressive thing. Of course, it's the Henson Company, doing this stuff. So
yeah.
you're not going to expect anything less on this stuff. But the movements of the characters as well seem to be kind of appropriate to whoever the character was.
Mhm.
Yeah, technically, I have no problem at all with this episode. I think that everyone was on their A game as far as that aspect of the episode goes.
I also did like the idea because I knew the puppet episode was coming, but I never envisioned that they were gonna have trouble hitting buttons and stuff. I went, oh, that makes a lot of sense, and added to the chaos and the hijinks.
Although I do wonder, one of the things that happens at the end is Spock sits in the chair and disables life support.
Yeah.
When did he gain access to the
I
chair?
thought the same thing
You saw him. I saw him sit down, and he.
No.
because Pike
Pike couldn't give it to him.
Control.
I don't
How
know.
did
He
get
went in and
access?
put the codes in and
No.
sat down.
At the beginning of the episode, when he
Pike
says,
was
"Oh,
snapping out. He goes, I can't.
I should give you access to the chair," and he says,
My hands don't work.
hand not recognized. So he
Yeah, I
can't do
understand
it.
that. But there was the time he ran to the chair when Pike got the Ryan lady out of the chair.
Yes.
And yeah, you're right. I understand what
He
you're
can't
saying.
do it.
But that's
Yeah.
when he put the codes in and
Oh no. I know
Yeah.
that's when he put the codes in. I'm just saying, how was he able to do that?
Mhm.
He doesn't have access to
He
the
didn't have
chair.
access to the new chair.
But see, you can say, "Oh, well, it was a dream, so it doesn't really matter." And that's
he
one of the
he
that's
used
one
the
of those
electric
cheats.
glove. That's what it was.
Yeah, there were a couple of cheats in there.
So, all right, well, it's time to
Wrap
to
up in
rate.
ratings.
My goodness, I think Sarah Rose is writing a novel over here, and it's probably all directed at me, but I don't know.
It's enjoy
Um,
it for what it
'Cause
is.
she hates Clinton and doesn't want to see
Yeah.
Clinton ever again. And
That's
I'm
right.
just kidding.
So we're gonna do our ratings on this, but you want to rate it on Pelia's boots?
Pelia's boots.
Okay. So we'll have to figure out how many feet she actually has by the end of this, I guess.
Well, she has more boots.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You always have spares. All right. Why don't we start? Let's go up from my screen. We'll start with you, Chuck, and then Craig and myself, and then for the next one, we'll go down the other direction. So
Bottoms up is what you're saying.
yes.
We're getting ready for Dragon Con. I am going to give this an 8.5. I enjoyed it. It was a fun episode. I liked the continuing story of Spock grappling with his mental issues, not becoming overwhelmed. Didn't really care for the ending. I think I already said that. I did like the technical details, the light tone that offsets Spock's challenges, the awesome puppetry, like you said.
Mhm.
No rods were shown. I expected them. I was like, Why am I not seeing rods for the hands?
Because they're
Wow.
controlling themselves. No, he told April, no
Right.
one's controlling us.
Right,
That would have been funny if Pike said, "Nobody's controlling us." And the, you can see
right. I give this an 8.5.
All right.
Okay. And what about you, Craig?
Well, like I said, the first time around, I was like, I didn't care for the Who Shot JR ending. So, and then
Wow, you're really targeting our demographic with that.
right,
I made the same comment to Bonnie about it when the episode was over. So
I was
there
like,
we
Where,
go.
is Patrick Duffy going to show up in a
Yeah.
transporter
I
or
guess
something?
my Bob Newhart ending was the show. You're
Yeah.
wrong after all.
Right. So, the first time around, I didn't really care for it, but the second time, I think I liked it a little bit better. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay. And for technical prowess in doing this episode, I don't want to ding it at all for that. To me, it's all about the story because, as I said,
Yep.
every episode of Trek up until now that I can recall, even the silly ones, do have some sort of a point to them. And I felt like there was no point that wasn't already covered in previous episodes of this season that this needed to exist for this reason. If they had gone to a planet that was inhabited by Muppets, I would have been happy. Okay, I'll accept them as being actual things.
Sure.
But anyway, so I'm going to give it a
Cookie Planet.
4.
What if they went to Cookie Planet?
I'm going to give it a 4 because I think technically it was very good, but it's definitely below par. I think the technical aspects of it really bring it up in my mind. So yeah, a 4.
Hey, by the way, the one thing I thought was kind of funny was when they show the corridor and there was explosions because the Ryans were hitting the ship with fire, and you see the puppets running around. They're running around like puppets would.
Right. I think we get some typical Muppet with the hands. And then, of course, is it Una who goes, hi-ya, hi-ya,
Oh, yeah.
hi-ya.
Like Miss Piggy. Very
Yeah.
nice.
That's right.
All right. Sarah says, not true. I love Clinton.
Aw.
I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Says
I
they were
was
in green
thinking-
screen suits. There were some pictures shared on Instagram, which is probably how they did a lot of stop motion stuff. And it has an 8 from me, reasons previously stated, but I don't get a vote. Sure you do.
Yeah, you do. You just did. Yeah, you
And a
got
boot to the head.
Yeah.
Hey.
What?
there's
No,
the
what?
reference.
a boot to the head.
Well, we're rating on boots. You see, that's why he went there. All right. Well, that is our opinion of that, and it was a spirited discussion. I would say.
Usually I'm the one on the low end of the rankings.
I really felt that one, guys.
Oh,
Wait till
Let's-
we get to the next episode.
oh my goodness.
Oh no!
Sorry.
Look,
Listener Diane is on. Oops, sorry.
I'm trying. Go ahead.
Yeah, it keeps disappearing.
Sarah, you're on the spreadsheet.
There you go.
You have to show up for more shows.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I was going to say that. So Bonnie went to visit listener Diane, and listener Diane's comment was, "Oh, the Muppet episode. I bet you Clint hated it."
Mhm.
And I was going to start off this if listener Diane had been here and said, so I was incensed that she would think she knows me so well that she would think that I would actually hate this episode. But by the way, I hated the episode. So
Well, this is also one of those episodes. You ask yourself, "Hey, we only getting 10 episodes. Why is this one in the deck?"
yeah,
Right.
because we already had that. We already had that opinion about the dude, where's my shuttlecraft episode. It's like, okay, you got 10 now. That's 20%.
Right.
That's gone to this stuff. All right, we're going to come back from our main mission part 1 with an appropriate sound effect.
You're talking about season 4. What about season 3? At least we had an excuse. Sound effect. Okay.
Okay, and we're going to do our subspace chatter. But in order to do subspace chatter, which is our news segment, we have to check in with Charlie to make sure it's okay. Now, Charlie could be Charlie X, bad. Mirror Charlie, good. So, Charlie, are we all set to go with Subspace Chatter?
Sure thing, friend. I love Subspace Chatter. Let's get going.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
It's on the other
Charlie.
screen. There
There he is. Yay!
Hey, that beard's looking pretty good. He's
Add
Yeah.
Charlie to
he's filling
stage.
out
There
like
he is.
Clinton.
Yeah.
It's a
I
young
lo-
Clinton.
He's a young Clinton.
Clinton's long.
I
ago.
love Subspace Chatter. So, Chuck, why don't you start us off with the first story?
Let's get going. All right. In an exclusive interview with TV Insider, Oscar-winning actress Holly Hunter provided an exciting update regarding Star Trek Starfleet Academy following the series' unexpected cancellation by Paramount Plus. Although the show was cut short, Hunter revealed that production on an entirely completed second season had already wrapped prior to the network's decision. Teasing what is to come, Hunter explained that the upcoming episodes lean heavily into classic Star Trek tropes. Spock's brain.
No, hopefully not that trope.
Yeah.
Oh. Where was I? By utilizing science fiction to ask deep, complex, what if questions. City on the Edge of Forever, perhaps. She highlighted how the narrative continues to chase peaceful, fair solutions amidst complicated galactic dilemmas while offering plenty of fun, genre-specific storytelling. Furthermore, Hunter expressed deep gratitude for the passionate fan campaigns advocating to save the series, noting
Yeah.
that she would gladly return to the role of Captain Nala Aki if another opportunity ever arose. A movie.
Movie.
And she won't wear shoes in that either. So, but Pelly is on her side. So there you go.
Yeah.
You can have my boots.
All 10 of them.
Actually, that was pretty good, by the way.
All right, Craig, you've
All
got
right.
the next one.
All right. So at the latest Star Trek Las Vegas convention, Star Trek Picard showrunner Terry Matalas revealed new details about his rejected sequel pitch, Star Trek Legacy, which would have put Worf's estranged son, Alexander Roshenko, right in the crosshairs of a major Klingon political uprising, using the Klingon Empire to mirror real-world geopolitical instability. The proposed series envisioned Alexander as a disruptive element amid shifting power dynamics, offering a long overdue deep dive in his complex identity between human upbringing and Klingon tradition. While the project remains shelved by Paramount as Matalas moves on to showrun Marvel's Vision Quest, the reveal shows how close the fans came to politically charged Klingon-centric follow-up to the Next Generation era.
And we know that the fans love the political stuff these days. Sip tea, sip tea, sip tea. Alrighty. Let's move on, shall we, to the next story. Paramount Plus's head of originals, I guess that's the title, head of originals, Jane Wiseman has gone on record, and I'm putting that in quotes, with Deadline.com confirming that the streaming service remains the definitive home of the Star Trek franchise, stating that they have series returning, well, we know which ones those are, and perhaps of special interest, plans for more series in the future. Now, this is where it gets murky to me. Wiseman also noted, so Wiseman emphasized that finding the, quote, next bounce, I guess that's a new phrase, next bounce, for the franchise is a major priority and a key duty for her team. To achieve this, how will she achieve it? Well, the network has started high-level discussions with numerous writers while collaborating closely with CBS Studios, although she didn't mention any writers at all. Wiseman stated it is absolutely crucial to outline this next phase because the franchise is simply too important to leave idle.
Yep.
She also noted that they are in communications with Paramount Pictures regarding the film currently in development. Wiseman highlighted the addition of executive Chris Parnell, whom she described as a massive fan of the franchise, to help steer these efforts. While she explained that developing these major genre series takes time, Yes, we know. She expressed enthusiasm for finding grounded, character-driven concepts describing the creative possibilities for the brand as wide open. So, said a lot of words without saying much besides, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Get back to work, you people.
We're
So we will
finding all the fans that work for us so they can write some stuff.
Yes.
I've got this idea about Q and Picard at the barrier.
No.
It would last a whole 10
I've got an
episodes.
idea. Everybody loves Q, right? Right.
For those
Yeah.
of you not familiar, we're talking about the Q Continuum books that we just got through reviewing before.
Right.
Stranger
Painful
Worlds came back.
trilogy that was.
Well, let's wash that out of our collective memories with
Oh.
the next story, Chuck.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I had Dragon Con.
That too.
Writing for Starlog magazine in 1976. Yes, we're going way back for this literature. Legendary science fiction author Isaac Asimov, who was good friends with Gene Roddenberry, outlined why Star Trek cultivated such a dedicated cult following. He attributed the franchise's enduring popularity to four distinct pillars. Not Michael Pillar. First, Asimov noted, young people of intelligence who are concerned with our world and with their own lives are naturally interested in science fiction, since this is the only form of fiction that deals with the future and with change, and it is in a changed future that youngsters will mature. Second, there was enough respect for science in the program to give it the support of a more sophisticated portion of the science fiction audience, who are the opinion makers. Very well said. And we'll talk more about the science in this show in our upcoming show review. His third point was that many Star Trek episodes dealt with ethical problems that were resolved in humane fashion. And finally, there were interesting, idiosyncratic, and sympathetic characters about whom one's feelings could crystallize. These elements combined to create a smart, scientifically grounded, and morally nuanced universe. I like it.
Young people, I mean, I think one of the things that was good about original Trek anyway, which is obviously what Isaac was talking about at this point, because it was 76. I mean, you had McCoy was not a young person, and Scotty was not a young person, but you had, and Spock was not a young person, so you had a nice mix of generations, which I thought was very good to have.
Speaking of which, maybe this is a panel question, is how do we get more young people into Star Trek so we don't age out the whole franchise?
That's what the Star Trek scouts are for.
Well, that's very young. That'd take a long time for that one to.
The guy who
bear
was
fruit.
here bug spraying, we got to talking, goes, oh, this is the house. We had a, not exterminator, but a guy spray for keeping bugs away. He came in today for the second time this year and said, oh, you're the house with the studio. How's the live streaming going and stuff? I said, pretty good. We're recording a Star Trek episode. We got into this discussion about Star Trek. He says, does anybody watch that anymore? Like, whoa.
Ouch.
He said, how about young people? Like, well, he's not
Funny
wrong.
you mentioned that.
Well, when we were at Phoenix Fan Fusion in June, we had the transporter console and the captain's chair, and people would come up for photo ops, and it seemed like everybody who would come up, it's like, oh, go sit in the captain's chair, Billy. And Billy, the 10-year-old kid, gets up there and sits there and goes, Grandpa's going to love this picture. Oh, man.
Well, it is a question, and I think the problem is that it's hard to manufacture an interest in a demographic in something.
More Muppets.
I
just wanted that reaction.
But
Quit pulling on his strings.
I mean, you don't make me bring back Auto Chuck.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, the typical way shows usually go about is have young people in the show, and that helps younger people identify with it. Although, one of the problems with Star Trek is that that's not its origin story. And its
Right.
origin story is really people that were interested in the science and
Exploration
the relationships,
yeah.
relationships between the characters,
Mhm.
right? So you have your origins of shipping, and you have the fanzines and
Well,
everything that come out of that.
And the stories were also relatable to m- current news,
Mhm.
current affairs. That's
Right.
That's it. That's what I was trying to think of. Current affairs. So
We're seeing
gotta stay
some of
current.
that, but I
Yeah.
don't know that it's as in your face resonating.
mhm.
Right. So one of the obvious things that Starfleet Academy was attempted to do was to be that type of show, was to be mostly centered on younger people. You would have adults there. The adults were, the staff,
Right.
and you would have episodes that would focus on the cadets.
Mhm.
And I think that some of the blowback on the series was the fact that, they automatically called it, Star Trek 90210 or things like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, you kind of might need a bit of that. I'm sorry, but and just having young people in it doesn't make it horrible. It means it's not necessarily aimed at you,
hmm
or I shouldn't say aimed at you. It's not primarily aimed at you. It's certainly
Mr.
aimed at you.
68-year-old corporate executive.
Right.
I still feel like putting Star Trek behind a paywall is not the best way to get people to watch it.
No, and the idea of, one of the reasons that I was reading the Wiseman quote is because it's not a franchise meant just for the big screen. It's never going to be a wild runaway hit as a movie series. It's not built that way. It's built for television.
Exactly.
And it's built for more than 10 episodes a season as well, but
Oh, for sure.
that's beside the point. That I think that ship has already sailed as far as streaming goes.
No pun intended.
Yes. So I don't think there's a one size fits all answer to that question. I think you have to try a bunch of things and see what works.
Mhm.
If you got something that was really strong in the science end of things, yeah, it's not going to get as big of an audience, but I think you'd get a very dedicated audience to it. But the same is true if it's built around relationships and younger people. You get that group hooked in and not necessarily a different group.
Mhm.
So hit all the quadrants, if you will, really hard to do.
Yep.
More anime.
More anime.
Hey, what happened to that Star Trek anime that they were making?
I thought that wasn't that a webtoons thing? I thought it was webtoons.
I don't
No?
remember even seeing it. Oh well.
Okay. Well, you've got the next story, Craig.
All right. So if you're looking to revisit the final frontier, as we were just saying, Pluto TV is celebrating its Star Trek's 60th anniversary by rolling out a dedicated 7-channel pop-up hub in the lead up to the Star Trek Day on September 8th, alongside 24/7 streams for legacy series like the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. The platform is introducing 2 temporary channels streaming all 13 feature films spanning from 79 through the modern Kelvin timeline. Available completely free, both on live and demand, with a dedicated Spanish language broadcast just for you, Chuck.
Yay.
For for traditional broadcast viewers, networks like MeTV and HI. What's HI?
Heroes and Icons.
Oh, yeah, the Heroes and Icons are joining in the milestone celebrating as well, lining up classical marathons alongside new special features originals featuring Captain James Kirk himself, William Shatner.
Muchas gracias, mi amigo.
Yes.
Oui. Wait, that's French.
Because Bill
I
is
always
everywhere.
watch Star Trek, but when I do, it's on Pluto TV.
All right, let's get off of that, shall we? And
Yeah.
move on to our next story. I put this one in because we talked about the toppers that were going on popcorn buckets in the AMC and
Yes.
Cinemark theaters. I cannot recall if we said why. So I'm putting, if this is a repeat, I apologize, but I don't think we covered this part. For Star Trek's 60th anniversary, the first 4 theatrical films are returning to AMC and Cinemark theaters from September 4th through September 8th, which means I will not be around for them, in a unique double feature format. Each movie will be paired with a classic episode of the original series that complements its theme.
Sweet.
You can catch The Changeling and Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Ooh, that's a interesting one there. Space Seed and Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Amok Time and The Search for Spock. Well, there is Pon farr in both of those, isn't there?
Woohoo.
And The City on the Edge of Forever and Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, aka the one with the whales. So
And
we've
the
got,
popcorn topper is a whale.
no, it's,
Yeah.
so that is what the toppers are for, is for this event. And I'm upset that I'm going to miss it because some of these sound like really great pairings. I mean, you can recreate it at home, but it's just not the same.
No,
as
I was
watching
thinking the
it.
same thing. I was really down for this when I first heard it. Then saw the dates and went, oh,
Right
Yeah.
over Dragon Con.
yeah. So
We'll
I'd
be
love to see
sneaking out
Space-
every evening.
I'd love to see Space Seed and Wrath of Khan back in the back to back in the theater. That'd be awesome.
I
Absolutely.
can watch this on my Plex server. Let's just have a watch party.
Yeah, but like I said, not quite the same. thing.
As Chuck was saying, the popcorn buckets are leftover ones from Free Willy.
We just paint the orca to look like a humpback. We're good.
There was a Jeopardy question today, and I knew the answer was like as soon as oh, that's Free Willy, and it certainly was.
Yeah.
All right, Craig, you've got the last story here.
All right. So Nielsen's latest streaming numbers show the season 4 premiere of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Valaus Marianus,
I love it when he does that.
was missing the original streaming top 10 chart entirely for its debut week. That marks noticeable contrast to season 3, which opened at number 7 with 471 million minutes viewed. That's a lot of minutes. Partially bolstered by the 2-episode drop. While the series is already locked to conclude its 5th and final season in 2027, the soft viewership complicates the creators' hopes for a potential Star Trek Year 1 spinoff centered on Paul Wesley's Captain James T. Kirk. Even so, Paramount executives maintain that the franchise's television future remains essential as they actively workshop upcoming projects.
And I just went to Nielsen's site to see where things this is the week of July 27th through August 2nd, and it is not in the top 10 for that week either. I'm looking for, so a lot of these are not necessarily first run. These are that's streaming top 10. Linear TV top 10. I think that was the category it would have been in. But yeah, no, not there. But then it's weird because when you talk about the overall streaming top 10, let me read you what overall it is. The Big Bang Theory, Bluey. So a lot of those are reruns as well.
Mhm.
The Devil Wears Prada 2, House of the Dragon. Now, is that
Those are all movies. You're talking about movies.
well, no, this is everything. So that's why the Big
Oh.
Bang Theory. So this is all of streaming. Okay. So if we go into, we can go into originals because it would be in that category. So in originals, number 1 is The Idaho Murders College Nightmare. Number 2 is Ransom Canyon. Number 3 is Ride or Die. Number 4 is The Bombing of Pan Am 103. 5 is Ted Lasso. 6 is My Daughter's Father. 7 is Silo. 8 is King of the Hill. 9 is The Hawk. And 10 is Furious.
King of the Hill outdid Star Trek.
Well, they're re-released. They got new seasons.
episodes.
so-
There's something wrong with this country, and I
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
So there's really not a lot in there at all. Ted Lasso I
Brand
know
new.
they just started a new season on that one. I don't know if
Yeah.
Silo. I don't know if Silo was back in its new season or not yet. So
I
I'm not sure about
thought
that.
it was. Maybe not. I don't know.
Could be. Could be. All right. And for those of you interested in why the ratings matter, I did a really big presentation on that a couple of episodes ago. I don't have the episode number right offhand. But if you go back and check in the show notes over at the topic is
Ding.
Trek.com, there is a breakdown I give. I've got a chart that shows stuff, how all the streaming Trek has done over the years, what made the top 10, what didn't make the top 10, and an analysis of what that all means. So feel free to go back and check that, because I think it will give you some insight into why this story mattered.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's about time to come back from our subspace chatter. But of course, in order.
By the way, Sarah says it wasn't well publicized in her opinion.
Which
Season opener.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I think you're
And
right.
more, a lot of times you see the Paramount Plus ad and they show us a few little tiny clips of Star Trek along with everything else that any Tyler Sheridan property that's on there.
Yes. Yes. Pretty
So,
much.
I don't think they properly announce it either. So, so the diehards obviously know. Actually, my parents are going through Strange New Worlds right now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I should send them the spreadsheet.
Oh, you mean the show?
Yes. Yes. Send in this. Yes. Send in the spreadsheet, and listen to Diane will have to put their ratings
Yeah.
in there as well.
I think they were into season 2 and they said they were really enjoying it. So
All right. Well, we're going to come back from subspace chatter, but that means it's time to say goodbye to Charlie. And it's nice, nice Charlie, but we have to still say goodbye. So, goodbye, Charlie.
Thanks for having me along. It was fun. But now my Phasian step-parents are calling, so I gotta go! 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 Go!
Let's all go to the lobby.
look, he's floating in this place like a puppet.
And I'm talking in space.
Yeah. And we can hear each other.
And we have 52 other stories over at the topic is Trek.com.
Oh, that one.
There we go. That cover, no surprise, the majority of stories are still about Star Trek Strange New Worlds because it is the show that's out right now.
Take that,
but
Nielsen.
But we do have some other stories about classic Trek, TOS. There's a little bit in there about comics. There's a lot of stuff going on right now with the comics. So you can check that out. And franchise-wise, things like 5 fascinating facts about Star Trek's Vulcans.
Mm-hmm.
5 original Star Trek actors who appeared in Gunsmoke.
5
Oh.
absolutely illogical thing
There's a
about
bunch of them, I'm sure. I thought there would be
Yeah.
more than 5. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a feeling there are, but probably not. They're probably just focusing on main cast. But if you want to, although I think one of the people they mentioned in that article is Ricardo Montalban. So
DeForest Kelly wasn't he?
he probably
Yes.
played an Indian.
he did. He
Oh.
did. Matter of fact, it was, I can't remember which series it was. I don't think it was Gunsmoke, but he did play an Indian in an episode of a Western. I remember watching it, and I don't remember if it's his actual, it's supposed to be his wife, but it's the woman who played Marla
Oh,
is the actress
Marla
playing that.
McIver's
Yeah.
in Gunsmoke or what?
Yeah.
Another show. Oh my!
It was
Hey.
wild.
Get her. She was pretty good when she played alongside him.
yeah. That's right. Maybe that's how they grabbed her. I don't, for the show.
God, this feels all so familiar.
All right, now we're going to go out on our second main mission with an appropriate sound effect.
Mm.
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 Mm. Oh, well, that's
you go.
appropriate.
He's dead, Jim.
All right,
Not
Craig,
quite dead yet.
why don't you give us the lowdown on this one?
You will be soon. All right. So Star Trek Strange New World, season 4, episode 6, Off Hour, written by Bill Walkoff and directed by Dan Liu. The synopsis reads as an off-duty window becomes a warp emergency when the Enterprise is pushed beyond its safe limits.
And I kept having in my head that it was off hours, so I've got a typo in that slide up on the screen that says off hours because I kept hearing that in my
Well,
head.
that makes sense, but yeah, you're right.
Nobody got break. Or wait a minute, it was just like having an off day. You have an off hour. I wasn't sure how to take the context of this title.
Well, off hour, they're doing the countdown of how long until they're off
Till
their
shift is
shift.
done.
Yeah,
Right.
off for the weekend.
So
or
that
whatever.
that hour would be the off hour. The hour.
There's
just
your
before-
spin-off show, Beta Shift. Let's get to know them.
It's like,
I
did
love
you ever
that
see the
lower
robot?
decks.
You saw the
Lower
robot
Deck?
chicken. Hey, you saw the robot chicken thing, right? Night shift, beer me. You know, did you ever see that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Of course you did.
All right.
Because I probably sent it to you like 12 times.
Yes.
So this episode is definitely a shift in tone from the
think?
last episode.
Well, people got cut in half. Oh, too soon?
Yeah, too soon. Well, he didn't. Mbenga. All right. So Mbenga gets impaled by one of the biobeds, which
Yeah,
apparently
crushed.
loses its magnetic lock. And it basically crushes his entire abdomen, just collapses in. And
Elvis, it was destroyed.
Apparently
Yeah.
the table's pretty heavy.
And
Well-
that is a real thing. Why you don't move the table. They've found people like in earthquake collapse buildings, and these people are going, help, help, and they sound fully conscious and aware. And the moment you take the bricks off of them, they die because they either bleed out or their system suddenly realizes, huh, okay, this is a real thing. Why? Because she
Mhm.
said, we can't move the table right now or you will die.
Yeah.
so let's talk a bit about this pairing here. We have another episode when we have Mbenga and Chapel as a storyline. We've been there before, and it's always an interesting dynamic because they have, as we know, a history.
Yep.
Yes.
During the war, and this is kind of continuing that relationship, but also it was stressed at the beginning because Mbenga, and this was a reveal in the episode, Mbenga has recruited back Dr. Boyce
Yes.
to
Isn't
be
he a nice guy?
to be the like the off duty, if you will, chief medical officer. So when Mbenga is off, it would be Boyce. And Boyce had been on another ship, and apparently nobody liked him on the other ship. So I guess he was
Try it
happy
again.
to come
Try it.
back to the
Yeah.
Enterprise. If the name seems familiar, that's because he was in the original pilot, The Cage, and also
Yep.
in the Menagerie as the chief medical officer on the Enterprise underneath
Yeah.
Pike. So Pike is no
As
sir.
they're- and this is all to kind of shoehorn in this the Strange New Worlds into the TOS timeline.
Well,
Arned is dovetailed.
actually,
Dovetail. Right.
actually, when you think about that, I'm not quite sure because you want to bring the Doctor in that was in Where No Man Has Gone Before. I would think you wouldn't want to bring back Boyce because he was gone.
He was in the
At that
pilot that
point.
nobody saw.
Right.
So you'd want to bring back the other
Mhm.
act. Well, I mean the other character, not the other actor, but the other character again. So I thought that was an interesting choice to bring back Boyce again when
Right.
you're trying to like reach that end goal of getting to. I'm trying to remember what the Doctor's name was, and I'm looking it up because I cannot remember.
Talk
Some-
amongst yourselves.
Yes,
Blah,
you can,
blah,
keep, you can
blah,
keep- you
blah,
can
blah.
keep going while I'm checking this
Yeah.
out.
All right. Craig, quick highlight overview. What did you think?
I kind of like this. I like the chaos as they were trying to fix things, and the ship was not responding well. And I think Scotty is fantastic so far. I'm really enjoying seeing him trying to work his way into the Scotty that we know.
to be a miracle worker.
Yeah. So
Right. I thought this was a very good way of nudging him in that
Yeah.
direction. Like he doesn't go full on, sometimes you have that episode that's the pivotal
Mhm.
episode. I call it like the pilot of young Indiana Jones adventures.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
In that first episode of that series, he's on a train. He runs into a guy with the fedora hat and the whip and the leather suit. He ends up getting stuck into a place with his snakes. It's like every single trope that Indiana Jones has surrounding him all happens in 5 minutes on this train. And, I just like the idea of nudge the person in a direction.
yeah. Well, I think what I was trying to say was I like Martin Quinn as Scotty. I think he's doing a great job. And yeah, seeing his character try to push beyond a little bit when he starts putting his hand on the ship.
Yeah.
To,
And then
to
at
be
the end with Pelia, they're like having a moment, sort of
Yeah.
like Picard and Data when they were touching the.
Would you like to be alone?
Would you three like to be alone?
Well, I mean, I really like that because I like the conversation when he's in the Jeffries tube, which he hated being in there. He said, it's like
Yep.
being in a coffin. And she's, this ship, it let us down. We needed it most. It just glitched out. And she says, every ship glitches out,
Yep.
but it's also capable of
Perform miracles.
amazing, wonderful things. And you have to listen to what it's saying to you.
Mhm.
And so I just felt it was a way to say, because they made a point in this episode of once again, I don't know how to do this. This is like ridiculous. And somebody like gives him a little nudge and he goes, well, of course we can do this. We can do that. We can do that. We can do this. We can fix this thing.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to take that initiative. And I think that we're trying to tie this in with what happened on his previous ship where it all went south.
Mhm.
And
Right.
he just doesn't want to be dealing with that stuff anymore. And it's kind of like shut that part of himself off.
Your slideshow just had a woman kind of floating around. It was one of your few pictures that was animated, and it had an inset from TOS. Can you?
Yes, I certainly can. So in this episode, in addition to Dr. Boyce being back in, the woman who we see taking the helm at the beginning of the episode, she was playing Lieutenant Rada. And Lieutenant Rada appeared in the original series in one episode, the episode That Which Survives.
Mhm.
So she was, that character is a legacy character.
Someone's doing their homework.
Also, the person who's speaking with Scotty in engineering, as near as I can tell, that character's name is Lieutenant Early.
Not late.
No, not late, right on
You have
time.
to leave early.
So, don't think he got a credit in the actual episode, but as near as I can figure out, that's the case.
I'm going to give a shout out. Speaking of doing homework, shout out to Dr. Erin, because I know her brain was doing overtime on some of this with the strong force neutrinos, which
Mhm.
are theoretical. And I thought a little odd that Nurse Chapel figured out we could use these to make
Yeah.
fuel and repair Dr. M.
Well, she figured it out from Mbenga's research.
Yeah, right. So from
Yeah.
his research, she figured out for the healing process, and then Scotty chimes in going,
and we can
you
make fuel.
know,
We can fill
Yeah.
a gas tank.
It's like space stem cells.
But first, we have to make Spock cookies.
yeah,
Yeah.
now one of the things that was weird in this episode is, all right, we send Spock out to go into the ion pod, which is another callback to Court Martial, where Kirk has to jettison the pod during the ion storm.
We really don't hear a whole lot about ion pods, do we?
Right. So
No.
when they're convenient to jettison, you hear about them.
Yeah, yeah. Or to move the plot along.
But he goes out there now. Do we really get a sense of how affected Lon is after all this? Because Spock is a complete mess. Now, granted, he was out there longer.
He said, we're completely contaminated, and she hands her helmet to Una.
Well, she gives her the chip right in
Yeah,
her hand
It's like,
as well.
What? These people have no concept of contamination protocol.
Yeah.
I guess they figured at that point, what's to lose?
Right. We have 8 seconds left.
Well, yeah, Lon came back. She seemed fine
Right.
as far no
Is that
damage
the
at all.
Phoenix behind Uhura.
Huh? Yeah. But she seemed fine, but Spock looked terrible, and they were all like, "Well, Spock would have the best chance of survival." Well,
like I said, he was
out
out
there a
there
lot.
longer.
Yeah.
And he also, I don't know how the pod is propelled, but whatever they used to propel it out, he was right.
oh
In the
yeah,
middle
of
of
course he
that
was
as
right there
well.
with. Yeah,
I thought it
So-
was a clever story point that he was so irradiated he couldn't talk. So he passed on the information with a quick mind meld.
Mhm.
I thought that was nice.
you know what? They've been relying on the mind meld a lot in this whole series.
Remember when it used to be like this
Oh,
holy thing
Must
that nobody knew
prepare
about
you
it?
know, it's just, yes,
Yeah.
it's all
Before it was like once in a while. There's like every other episode. Let's just mind meld. I don't
Well,
like talking.
So glad they did not break the threshold and we had to deal with salamanders again.
Oh,
yeah. Although they say in this, they're
it's
I mean,
integration.
of course, I guess in theory, nothing has done it yet because
Right.
their theory was the ship would disintegrate.
Into
At-
time space time
Right.
stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
the Enterprise would turn into terrarium, and they'd have some
Yeah.
lizards inside.
Oh, Gary Lindros says, I wish we would have seen Spock in sick bay next to Mbenga. But yeah, he probably should have been there.
Yeah,
Maybe he still is uncomfortable being in sick bay.
right.
He's
Oh yeah,
recuperating in his quarters.
Yeah.
yeah. I'll just do the stay-at-home healing.
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's
Yeah.
it's no big deal.
Self-medicating.
I'll walk it off.
So we do get another episode with a broken off limb and a many bruises. I mean, in addition to what happens to Mbenga, the forces of gravity crush his leg.
was brutal.
Oh,
I,
oh,
I winced when I saw that.
And then we have Chapel, the
Broken
end of her
finger.
finger comes off.
yeah.
It's like, well, there's your Toy Story, your Christmas story in a different light altogether. you know.
Yeah.
It's
Don't lick
frozen.
it. Don't lick the magnetic table.
Yeah. And what did we think of Boyce in this episode? Was he just by the book, or was he over the top?
What a warm-hearted guy.
He's got great bedside manner.
I want to send him a Christmas card.
I don't know if I really have a thought on it too much because he wasn't in the show a whole lot. Other than, you know what? When they said his name, I went, oh, they're gonna kill off Mbenga today, and I thought
I
exactly.
was thinking
Yeah,
that
but
was where they were
but
gonna go.
Mbenga doesn't die. Mbenga's in the original series.
I know, but I
Okay.
was like, I thought that, hey, he was like sitting there and they're literally frozen and cut in half. I thought, oh, they're gonna kill him off like
Well,
this.
I think that's not unreasonable if we didn't know that he
Yeah.
didn't survive.
I mean, I know he survives, but I was just like, they were really playing it up, and I thought that was what was going to happen.
Which I think you had to for the episode to, raise those stakes and make you
Mhm.
kind of go, well, are they going to change that? And like in the series here, he does, what's going on? So yeah, I think you need a bit of that. Oh, we also got to see a bit more of
Yeah, what's her name?
Asha.
Asha, our
Right.
late coming Vulcan ensign.
She was also pulling Scotty along a little bit.
Yes, she would make a suggestion and go, well, that's right. Wait a minute now.
Yeah,
we can actually do that thing. And she was
Hey,
very
wait a
reluctant to.
minute. That picture right there looks like Pike is welding or doing something on the bridge, without using a
He
cutter.
got welded.
Yeah.
I did like the
He's cutting some steel on the bridge.
scorch mark on his. You just
Oh yeah,
goes. What did I miss while I was out?
yeah.
And it seemed like I have to go back and look. It seemed like the bandage on his hand kind of like grew and contracted, or maybe it was the sleeve was up or something. Because like, I seem to see some parts. Now this, if you're watching the video, this was in the press release, the photos.
Mhm.
We don't get this scene,
Oh,
which I thought would be
Boyce Welding Chapel.
I thought that, getting her out of that room. And I thought that would have told you more about Boyce, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what would he have said to her
Well-
at that point?
Well, actually, what he did say to her was to leave him and go.
right.
but-
And
And then to
he's-
see this, he's like, helping her out.
Right. Well, he's very upset at the point because he says, when all of a sudden they can't use the corridor, he says, well, I guess you got what you wanted. Good luck.
Yeah,
You're not
that
stuck
was
there.
warm.
Yeah.
But
You made your bio bed, now sleep in it.
yeah, now cut in half with it. But I didn't know what to make of it because he's by the book and he's probably making the right call in most circumstances because you're not going to have neutrinos normally to
Floating around. Yeah.
to save somebody who's in that condition that Mbenga was in. So it was the right call, but it seemed like it was a bit cold. I don't think Boyce was all that warm and fuzzy in the pilot either, so maybe it's not too off the mark.
Maybe. Yeah. I think he kind of blended in. Seemed like it.
Any other thoughts on, because there was a lot of things happening in this episode, very science driven, very teamwork driven, very high stakes, definite. I consider it a kind of a highlight of the season so far, that it's like, well, that's
Agreed.
a lot of the stuff that you think of when you think of Star Trek. It had those elements to it. You've got
High stakes.
character,
High stakes and
character driven in science, right?
Mhm.
So, all right,
This is almost the first serious episode we've gotten.
In a while.
Almost.
yeah. I mean, I consider the black and white episode to be kind of a classic
Mhm.
Trek episode as well. So
True,
I would put that in with it. But yeah, we know certain feelings about the first episode with the dinosaurs and Mars. So yeah,
Rate them top down.
Okay, so I begin this time around.
Yes.
I'm going to give this one a 9. I really liked how things came together on this, that we're reintroducing a character who we knew from the original pilot. We're putting him in a context of, well, he's not taking over as chief medical officer because we know there's another chief medical officer potentially even sandwiched in between now and McCoy.
Mhm.
But he's there as backup, if you will. But Mbenga's like thinking about leaving, and if he did leave, maybe he would go do his Vulcan studies, which he talks about having done in the original series. We have Scotty nudged in the right direction. We have all these different things. So I think it really rates high on a lot of marks here.
Mhm.
So I'll come down to Craig.
Oh, we didn't talk about what our rating scale was.
Oh,
turtles.
Neutrinos.
Turtles.
Turtles. Oh, okay.
Okay, we're happy together. No, they're different turtles.
I like
Yes.
that song.
All right, so 9 turtles.
9 turtles.
Craig.
I'm also going to go pretty high on this one because I liked everybody trying to work together through all the problems. Like you said, we had no comms for a lot of it, or comm problems.
And no half points because a half a turtle would be a little too close to home on this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't want my Russian tortoise to hear me talk about half a turtle. Yeah, I'm also going to give it a 9 because I think it was a pretty high episode and I liked it. But when the gravity thing, that was brutal.
Wow, I think we're all in sync on this one. I had 9 written down this morning, so I will give this 9 turtles as well. I very much enjoyed Christine's struggle. She started out as avoiding the discussion, and at the end you get, "I'm not going anywhere," straight to his face. The moment that Scotty and Pelia had touching the wall at the end, there was no dialogue. That was a nice moment. Like you said, good drama, good science, and good story. But to iterate Craig's point again, the broken leg and the busted finger were, woo, that was not TOS material right there.
Yeah. Oh, hey, one thing, reflecting back on the puppet episode real quick.
Mhm.
we didn't bring up
Mhm.
was the Wrath of Khan moment
Yeah.
where Pike is
You're
getting ready
right.
to
We
shoot
didn't
up,
bring it up.
and you see Spock do his thing. I was like, oh, come on. That was, I saw that in the first time
Yes.
I watched it. I was
Yeah.
like, come on.
I was
mean-
saying the needs of the many on this show too. When he goes into
Hey,
the ion pod,
You know, the needs of the many. That was probably the best part. He got
Yeah, it's like-
ejected around.
Yeah, I mean, I know that sometimes the directive from the suits is, like Wrath of Khan type of stuff, but it's like this is just too much. This is now the third, the second literal reference to that exact scene. We had it into Darkness, and now we had it in the puppet.
See,
episode.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think that when they keep referencing Wrath of Khan's probably some of the best Trek we've had, right? Would we all agree with that?
Yes,
Wrath of Khan?
yes.
So you keep referencing your best stuff, like that movie, just to say, "Hey, look, we're referencing them." Doesn't that kind of cheapen it a little bit?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that's what aggravates me is when I'm like, you got a puppet hand and Spock doing I was through a glass. I'm like, come on, just aggravating.
Okay.
There's too many other things they could do.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
absolutely.
how I feel reading a lot of these books where the authors try and throw in as many back references as they can.
Well, none so
see a
many
reason.
as the Q continuum. Believe me.
Yo, I think it went for broke.
They're not alone in that. I was reading the Mind Meld book too. It's like write something original.
So I'm not going to. We do have some questions that came in. I think we'll put them in Warp Speed Roundtable for next time. We're running a bit long this time because of the nature of the episode. So, Thomas, I got your email with your questions, and I'm going to save them for the next episode.
Excellent.
So we will address those then. Before we go to Ask Who Speaks for us, as far as our regular shows, Craig, do you want to give another mention to?
Is this an irregular show?
Yes, to Dog Days.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with the Dog Days of Podcasting, or maybe you are a little bit and don't
It's almost
know.
over.
Yeah, it's almost over. But you can go to dogdaysofpodcasting.com. We have I forget how many people were actually.
Roughly 10.
Yeah, about 10 people. They all signed up, and there's a main feed on the website you can subscribe to and listen to everybody. Dog Days of Podcasting Challenge, you're supposed to podcast once a day, every day for the month of August. And there's some good stuff in there. So I invite anybody to go subscribe to it. And of course, around Christmas time, we do the Dog Days at Advent. So same kind of thing for the Advent season.
And just like last year, I had to bow out probably about halfway through. I think I got through episode 15. I had 16 and 17 written. There's just no time between now and Dragon Con to finish them up. So I will be doing, just like last year, Dog Days of Pumpkin Spice season to finish up.
I know.
And when
pretty good.
after we come back from Dragon Con. So look
Yeah.
forward to the rest of that then.
Unfortunately, this year I bowed out because I've just got had too many things personal going on. So
Yes. All right. So let's get to this part here. You can find me, Clinton, at Comedy Forecast, all one word with the number 4. And all the episodes get posted there. So if you're listening to Dog Days and the feed stops because, at a certain point, Craig does shut it off. Otherwise, every single show would be there for all year long. You can find the rest of the episodes over at comedyforecast.com. And who speaks for you guys this week?
Chuck does. I'm done.
I'm checked out.
I'm done with this popsicle stick.
Yeah.
You can find us. Craig and I do a show called Technorama Podcast. And if you just search for Technorama Podcast, you will find us. We do a show. It's supposed to be weekly, but life gets in the way. We're going to Dragon Con and having a lot of good fun. We will have a panel there with this trio Sunday at 5:30. So right after our Trek panel, just walk across the hall over to Galleria 6 or 7. I forget which we're in. I think we're in 7 again. And we'll have our Technorama Comedy Forecast and Friends panel there. But until then, we've got one more episode we're going to try and get in the can where we talk about science and sci-fi and just nerd out for about an hour with news and stories, and you never know what's coming at you with that show.
And you can play pack along with Chuck and Craig as they try to stuff their suitcases while they're in the middle of doing Technoramas.
I have
Yeah.
3 microphones to pack for Charles McFall, the director.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this is going to be a heavy suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to pack them carefully because you don't want your microphones getting banged around.
You're going to have to check that bag. It's like 80 pounds.
I'll pay the extra weight because he paid me good cash for the microphones. Moving on. Let's sign off.
Yes. All right. Time to hit the theme, boys.
I hit it.
If you like the show, please be sure to tell a friend about it and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear from you. Follow us on Blue Sky at The Topic is Trek. Visit our Facebook page, or you can call us at 816-TREKKER. That's 816-873-5537. Until next time, on behalf of Chuck, Craig, and myself, I'm Clinton, thanking you for listening. And as we always say here on The Topic is Trek,
Don't
put
put
on
on the red shirt.
No.
I'm going to go make lemonade.
and stay away from tables. All righty. Well,
That
thank
red
you
shirt
so
guy has
much.
the worst blonde hair.
He's old. He's
White.
supposed to be old.
Oh, I'm sorry, white hair. Yeah.
Well, thank you for watching us live. If you're watching the video afterwards, thank you very much for that. Or if you're listening to the episode, the audio portion of it, thank you for listening to that. We'd love to have your feedback. Facebook page is really a great place, but also the listener line is really a great place to leave your feedback. And if you feel like rating us sometime, do that too, please. But that's a lot of homework to do. So we'd love to hear from you more than anything else. All right. So we're going to say goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.